In July of 2008. We were there for 3 days. She saw several doctors. I can't remember how many. She had lots of tests. I'm estimating over 100, maybe 150 tests. And all of them came back within the normal range with the exception of B12, which was very low, and her glucose level was slightly elevated. She's been on B12 shots since. They seem to have helped a little, but not. They did not eliminate the episodes by any means. She's had in the past year. She's had several episodes. The last episode that she had was a little over 2 months ago. Happened to be a cartoon movie. And I was watching it, and then all of a sudden I heard her say she had to go to bed. And I went over to her, and she said she was shaking. I felt her. She was shaking externally. Normally she just shakes. She feels the shakiness inside, but this time the shakiness was obvious to me, and she went into another episode without going through all the details and all the symptoms. This episode lasted, I think, a couple, 3 days. Interestingly enough, two things happened at about that time. Because of her headaches, we did go to Palmer's clinic, and they treated her for the headaches, which really was amazing. One treatment, whatever they did, one treatment brought an end to the headaches. The headaches have been gone for about 3 months. She has had no headaches, which is absolutely amazing because headaches were basically part of her everyday life. The other thing that happened, I was talking with one of the doctors there, and I said what appeared to me to be the case was that her cells were not receiving or using the, whatever you call it, glucose, the fuel, and something was stopping that, and it was suggested that we try q10. I really didn't know what q10 was, and I really wasn't too enthused about it, but anyway, she started taking 30 milligrams a day. That would have been just about 3 months ago. And then we found out that an appropriate dosage would be about 100 milligrams, so she began taking 90 milligrams a day. And from virtually the first day that she was on that dosage, she began feeling really great. I've been married to her for 48 years, and I really believe that she is feeling better now than she did at least 30 years ago. And we're now past, well, let's see, we're 63 or 4 days into it, which doesn't prove the point, but it certainly goes a long way. She hasn't gone this long feeling well, and she feels great for the past 60 some days. She hasn't gone that long in 3 or 4 years probably between episodes, so it certainly looks like something has happened. I don't quite understand it. Interestingly enough, the last 3 or 4 years she's been complaining about sweats. The sweats are gone. All of the symptoms are gone. About the only thing that she's had is a little bit of nausea, but bowel movements corrected that. Really nothing's going on. No headaches, no aches, no nothing. Anyway, these sweats, I did a little bit of looking and it's sorry, my background was physics and mechanical stuff, but apparently there is some sort of a mechanism, a chemical reaction, something like that, that is involved in, I guess mitochondria is also involved in it, but at any rate, from what I understand, this reaction requires either heat or a catalyst to successfully complete its mission. The q10 is an enzyme which is apparently can be the catalyst for this. The heat and the sweats that she went through may have been an attempt by the body to complete the process, but it failed. Well, anyway, when I stopped in your department and begged to see an endocrinologist that would take the time to delve into this, at that time she really was feeling bad, and I believe that was three and a half months ago, and I was desperate. I mean, I got in front of the reception desk and I practically begged them to let me talk to someone. Our attempts to see endocrinologists over the past several years haven't amounted to anything. So I wanted someone who was willing to dig into it. You've got a Dr. Skelly. She's an internist. She's not an endocrinologist, and we saw her 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago, and she seemed really interested in what was happening with my wife, and but we were never able to follow up on it with her. She was either on pregnancy leave or she was on vacation or whatever, and it could never, well, at any rate. But now she is feeling really, really good, and I hope, I pray that this CoQ10 has been the missing piece in this puzzle. If that is the case, I don't understand it. I have tried to find out what it might be actually doing. I guess the studies on CoQ10 are still kind of early because they really don't know why it works. Apparently such a tiny amount of it makes it to the cells that it's not enough to really do anything. But anyway, so here we are now, talking to you. I guess you can't really help us, but I didn't want to cancel the appointment. I felt that it was worth our time and your time to look at this and maybe, I really don't know. I just pray that this is over. 18 years of this, I pray, is over. Which, by the way, getting back to the early years of this, there was a lot of depression. And depression is a horrible thing, and she was on Prozac, which seemed to, it helped with the depression. It was great. And we're cutting back on the Prozac because she's feeling so well, and we're easing off of it. I'm not willing to take a chance that depression would come back, but and then also her thyroid, her synthroid, we're also cutting back on that under doctor's guidance. The heart issue, I really feel, and I felt at the time, that this was not really appropriate, but she wanted to do it because she was hoping that bypass surgery would make her feel good. It didn't. She wishes she hadn't done it, and I tend to agree with that. But anyway, I appreciate your time. I hope you'll look at some of these videos. What she went through was really, really tough. I'm virtually the only one that ever saw her go through this, because when she was feeling that bad, she